episode 4 of a Radiance Revival podcast. Let's talk about stress. You are listening to a Radiance Revival podcast where we rebirth and unearth your inner brilliance by focusing on love, energy, and freedom. I am your host, coach, and brilliance believer, Catherine Sogard. In this podcast, you will learn that you are your biggest advocate, fan, and creator of your own destiny by using the radiance you were born with. When you are empowered to use this inner brilliance, you can create your best life. So let's get this Radiance Revival started. Stress is a killer. It can kill just about anything it touches half the time. I mean, if it is too much, it can put a damper on your relationships. It can put a damper on your confidence. It can put a damper on your energy. Not to mention the havoc stress can wreak in your body if there is too much excess. Now, don't get me wrong. A little bit of stress, helps us, right? It's kind of that whole like a diamond has to have pressure to be made. But a diamond doesn't necessarily have to have stress to be made. So all those people out there who are like, stress is just something we just have to live through in life. It's just, life is stressful and we just got to deal with it. I say to heck with that, because especially in this day and age, stress is running our lives and it's running us into the ground. I think the unfortunate thing about when professionals talk about stress and when, people work with coaches surrounding like, how do I reduce my stress? Even when I worked as a health professional and a personal trainer and a coach and a fitness instructor, and we talked about stress, we came at it from the approach as we have to figure out ways to reduce. And a lot of those tips and tricks to reduce stress we're actually just supplementing stress for something different, right? A lot of people, when you're stressed out, I do this, I use exercise to help me relax. So I was really just replacing one stress with another instead of addressing what was at the root of the stress. So it was basically like putting a bunch of paint over rotting wood and thinking that it solves your problem of the rotting wood. Now, it probably protects that wood a little bit better, but it's still rotting, and it's still rotting from the inside. So when approaching stress, I have learned you have to take a two-prong approach. You have to do things that make you less stressed. Like some people, it's exercise. Some people, it's a night out with the ladies. Some people, it's getting their nails done. I love getting my hair done. Oh my gosh. I mean, who doesn't love having their hair done? I mean, really, who doesn't love it? It's just fabulous. And you also have to address where the stress is coming from and figure out where you can kind of eliminate doing those stressful tasks, or at least finding an approach in the moment that you're doing those stressful tasks or you're feeling that stress that you can realize that you're doing it. Because what I find is when we're starting to feel stress, we don't really notice it until it almost becomes overwhelming and we can't deal with it anymore. Maybe this is just me, but I never feel like, oh, I'm feeling kind of stressed now. It's like I feel super overwhelmed and I can't even deal with this and I might cry, and that's when I really feel like, oh, stress is coming on. So we need to identify it a little sooner and find ways that we can kind of talk through that stress so that it doesn't impact our lives in a negative way, and it stops impacting our relationships and our job and our mentality and our energy and our body and all of that. So how do we do that? How do we go about identifying stress is starting to kind of build up, without getting to the point where you're like, I need to take a chill pill. Oh my gosh. Okay. So this is what I've learned. I have set a timer in my phone. It's really in my calendar. It's a notification on a daily basis. And I picked 2:00 because I tend to be done with some work by that time, but not time to quit work yet. Guess what, dear? You can pick whatever time you want, whatever time you feel will be most appropriate for this. But you set an alert in your phone that comes up every day that says check in. And so at that time, I take 2 seconds and I kind of analyze, like, how am I feeling? Because I don't think we ask ourselves that until we have a lot of feelings going on, whether that's sad or really happy or really excited. We don't, when we're just feeling, and I hate to say like nothing, because I think we have feelings, but it's just that we're preoccupied with other tasks or whatever it may be, that we're not feeling how we're feeling. And so that check-in reminds me to just kind of take a couple seconds. It takes literally 5 to 10 seconds. How am I feeling? What has stressed me out? And if I start feeling like there is some stress here, I talk through with myself for, 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, this kind of stressed me out today. Well, why did it stress you out? Because I was put on a time crunch. Or my favorite one, when I feel like someone is questioning my hard work and it just bothers the heck out of me because I've put a lot of hard work and energy into something, and someone is just pointing out something that may need to be tweaked, and it's just a personal like, oh, you're like, you think I'm doing a horrible job. That tends to spiral out of control, and if I don't spend a little bit of time every day checking that stress will compound over days and days and weeks and days, and then it'll just turn into a really stressful time where I feel like I need to eat, or I need to exercise like crazy, or I need to do like 100 hours of meditation, and I just can't function unless I try to remedy that stress with a solution. So the second step, and this is kind of like a little bonus thing, I love this product and I'm not getting paid. This is not an ad. I'm not getting any promotional anything from this, but I love this product from Natural Vitality, and it's called Natural Calm. It's like a little magnesium powder, and you just take a little bit of it. You do not want to take the full dose right away because magnesium can tend to make you feel like you gotta go poo-poo. So don't start out with a full dose, and it tells you all the instructions on how to take it. And obviously, before you take any supplement or any medication over the counter or whatever, you should always check with your doctor. But this has really, really helped me feel a lot better and relaxed. So that's something that if I am feeling elevated stress, I can take, and that kind of helps just kind of chill me out and make me relaxed so I can make better decisions, because we don't even make good decisions. And I think that's really why stress controls our energy and can kill our relationships, is because we can't make good decisions if we're stressed out. It's just not physically possible to make the right thought through, thoughtful decision if you're stressed out to all get out, right? So if we can't make good decisions, and then we're like, okay, I'm going to fix this stress with 100 hours of meditation and 75 HIIT workouts and binge eating, or however you handle stress, obviously that's not going to be a great choice because you're stressed out when you're making the choice to do that, right? And then my final thing is doing your stress relief obviously in moderation as well. But really the key to handling stress, in my opinion, and from my experience and working with a couple of, well, let's just say high-strung clients like myself, you tend to attracts like, right? So, is identifying the stress before it gets way too overwhelming. And that's why this technique of the check-in helps to moderate stress over time. And then also that natural calm kind of gives you a little bit of zen feeling so you can make better decisions in the moment. And then you apply your stress relief, whether it's doing a little bit of online shopping or whatever it may be, like your little exercise, or you might have, a different type of food, or you might not, and so then you can make a better decision to not like go overboard with your stress relief. So I hope that you will take the time to go into your calendar and make some of those alerts. And maybe you don't need to do it every day. Maybe you set an alert for every other day to kind of give you some spontaneity about checking in on your stress. But I think you'll find if you do that for a couple of weeks, you'll be able to identify the stresses before they get out of control, where you need to just go crazy and try to handle them. And then again, that natural calm, it's a beautiful thing. And lastly, you'll be able to make better decisions about how to process your stress relief. Okay, so if you loved this episode, I want to hear what ways that you have found over your lifetime. I want to hear from you how you deal with stress, or how you don't deal with stress, or what makes you stressed out. And I hope that this was helpful, and we'll see you on the next episode. All right, loves, thank you for listening to yet another brilliant, energy-packed episode of the show. If you haven't yet subscribed, what the heck are you waiting for? You know it's my mission to help women revive their inner radiance so they can live their best lives. So if you enjoyed this episode, leave a brilliant review so that more women can find us and join us, radiate our brilliance across the universe.